Well, you know, you've been a really prolific writer and an editor. In addition to your newspaper work, you've written several books. You were a major force. We heard the list behind the gay games, instrumental in the push for marriage equality in Illinois, been the executive producer for films and a play, even created that game that I didn't know a lot of answers to, and That's So Gay. You were involved with the Youth Storage Initiative, which I really found fascinating. And the Tiny Homes competition, as you looked at ways to help homeless youth. So really, just a couple of questions. The first was, when do you sleep? And then among all of those things, do you have a favorite or two that you wanted to just touch on?
For a very long time, newspapers was all I was doing, not that it was not enough. But when I started working on the gay games, two things happened. One is I got out of my bat cave and had to leave the city and go around the world and do outreach. And it really taught me that there's many ways to tell stories and to transform communities. And so, but after the gay games, which was 7 years of volunteer hell, but wonderful, I'm glad I did it, I really was burned out on this community. Because believe me, the infighting around the gay games was as bad as our community ever gets. A lot of people told us we were going to fail. You know, they tried to sabotage it. Montreal paid off Chicagoans to attack us from within. I'm not kidding. It was
just
brutal.
Like the regular Olympics.
Yeah, it was brutal. And we were all volunteers. And so after it, and Jean could tell you, I was really just like, what am I doing? You know, why am I killing myself for this? So instead of just stopping, what I did was I set about, in the way that I normally do things, which is this compulsion. And I interviewed 200 LGBTQ people for the ChicagoGayHistory.org website that I created, because I wanted to get back to why I do this, and that it's for the people. About 20 of those people have since died. That was just in 2007. And I had regretted that I don't have anything with my mother's voice on it. And I know that the next generation isn't going to always learn from the printed word, that the voice and the face of somebody that really says who they were. So that brought me back. It saved me. And it just so happened that it led to doing the Out and Proud Chicago book, because WTTW, Alex and Dan were working on this great documentary they were working on, and they didn't want to do the book. So they're like, let's see if Tracy will do the book. And so it just kind of happened. And once I did that book, especially with Owen Keenan's support, he and I just were off to the races. You know, like there are people, especially Chuck Renslow, who so many people had tried to tell his story in book form, and same with Jim Flint, Vernita Gray. These were stories I felt that really needed to be told. If I could do anything all time, full time, and not have to worry about paying bills, I would just write about people, because that's really the original motivation from when I was 10 years old to today. Everything else is kind of gravy.